Coming up on Keep It Positive, Sweetie.
I was in pain because, you know, when you have 56 staples and a colostomy bag sitting right here and a tube right here, and you feel what I'm saying? And then you healing up from the gunshot. You know what I'm saying? I went on a couple of surgeries, you know? So I'm in pain.
Yes.
So when that lady hit me with that stuff and I went out, it felt like, it was like, I don't know how it is. I don't know how it feel to be born, but it felt like I was just coming into the world, like coming out of the womb, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I was like, this feels insanely good.
Hi, I'm Renee Hayslett, and this is the Keep It Positive Sweetie Show, a safe space to heal, laugh, grow, and love. I'm really looking forward to the show today because we've been trying to get this next guest on for a while. I'm talking about hip-hop great Young Dro. We'll deep dive into how he overcame a lengthy drug addiction and how he's using his testimony to inspire and uplift others. But before he comes on the couch, let's get into today's look. So for today, I am wearing a dress by Zara. It's sheer overlay, kind of like another watercolor moment that we have going on here. I paired it with these cheetah or leopard. I never know the difference between cheetah and leopard print. Leopard print pumps by Dolce & Gabbana, another high-low moment. Rocking the curls. This is a fresh day one curls. Gotta love it. Use my favorite products to achieve this look, and my signature jewelry. You already know what it is. Best known for hip-hop hits like Shoulder Lean and We in the City, Young Dro has been a part of the soundtrack of my life along with so many others. Despite having hit records over the course of his career, Young Dro was immersed in a drug addiction that spanned decades. Now, nearly 4 years sober, Dro is more focused than ever. He's here now to share his powerful testimony and how he's moving forward in music, movies, and more. Dro, we got you here.
Yes, I'm in the building.
You are here. I'm so happy. I love your energy.
Thank you.
I appreciate your support. We follow each other on Instagram, and I was like, oh my gosh. From growing up, and well, we're probably about the same age, but like we grew up together, and you were such an instrumental piece of hip hop. So to actually know you now, I feel blessed.
Oh, thank you, man.
I'm so
Thanks
happy
for
you're
having
here. How
me.
you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Woke up this morning.
Listen.
You did.
You did.
Yeah.
That's good. So I want to talk about the fits, because Dro, you have been clean. And that was another thing. You said we have a new definition of I'm cleaning this bitch, because you clean now.
Oh man, that's crazy.
I'm cleaning this. You clean and you clean.
Oh man, that's crazy.
But I want to talk about the fashions. I was a stylist. I styled Tyler Perry for 5 years. I was a costume designer at the studio for 5 years. So I'm all about the fashions.
Okay.
And you have been repping polo since day. You were like before there was influencers. You was a Ralph Lauren influencer. Did you ever even like have a partnership with them? What?
Nah,
Ralph.
Because in high school, this is what I was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to come into, you know, celebrity and rapper and all that, and then join it, I was like, this is normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, when we be having this shit on, you know.
Yes, you know.
You know, it was just.
So you woke up today. What was the thought process?
Oh no, I kind of wanted to be like Mr. Rogers type. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
He's getting very scholar.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, the green and yellow, I felt like, you know, my skin would pop off that.
Yes.
You know, then I went corduroy, and then I was gonna leave them down, and I was like, I can't disrespect the sock like that.
Yeah,
Like,
no, the socks is socking.
You know what I mean? So, and it's just, you know, it's some light, little lights, huh?
So do you style yourself or do you have a
I
stylist?
style myself.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I love
never
that.
really had a stylist though.
Really?
Nah.
So it's always been you. I love that.
Yeah, I got the eye. Like I can walk in somewhere and just bam. But it took like I had these socks for like a minute, but I just had them, and about at least about 8 months, and then this just came out. So
like,
it just works.
I love that.
Yeah.
You have a song called "Put It On."
Put It On.
And I was just talking to my parents the other day, and we were reminiscing about our trip to Europe this past summer.
Right.
And they were like, you were just in there like, okay, we want to get this, and this. And like, we were just walking around looking like hillbillies. I said, no, y'all put that shit on. And they was like, what? I said, y'all put that shit on. And I was like, I said, so when you get dressed, because I had bought them like Louis Vuitton and all that stuff, so they was looking good.
Right.
And I said, y'all had it on. I said, that's when you put your fits on, you look good. They're like, oh, okay, we put that shit on.
Yeah.
And then I was
That's
listening to your
dope.
song
That
this
is
morning.
dope.
I was like, put it on.
Yeah, so that song, man, I just wanted to make sure that I just put the fun back into it. Because when we was coming up, we didn't want to spin and do all that stuff, man. We just wanted to be fresh, have a good day, everybody see the outfit.
Yes.
You feel what I'm saying? Back up, man, I'm clean. You feel me?
I
That's how
love
always
it.
felt, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Congratulations on Young Dro Day. I heard that just happened. And guess what?
What?
That's my birthday.
What?
October 18th.
Oh,
so we share a
gotta-
special day
we
together.
We got to get together and do
Yeah,
something big.
we need to
That's
collab
crazy.
on our day.
That's crazy. That's
How about that?
crazy. That's lit.
I love it. What did it mean to you to have that level of recognition in your city?
When my manager Sierra had got it all together, and you know, the powers that be came together and said we're gonna give Young Dro his day today. I always wanted a day.
Yeah.
You feel me? They used to have Dro Day in Atlanta, but it's unofficial. You know what I mean? But I felt like this is an important time for me. Like I was thinking like have fun on that day, but I do want to make it meaningful and impactful, like giving back to the kids and doing stuff with the community also, you know what I mean?
I love that.
Yeah.
And you're already doing that. You were doing that before you got your day. And I love how you're in the community speaking to young men and trying to make sure they stay on the right path. I applaud you for that. Recently for the election, you were very involved with making sure people got registered to vote. What was the importance of that? Because I know this is a big election for us.
It was important because how I grew up, like we were just bombarded with how we were gonna get some food, or if mama had some money, or you know what I'm saying, what kind of clothes we was gonna wear. And we went years and decades without even having an awareness about voting, you know what I mean? So, and as I got older, I kind of just had like an epiphany or some sort to, you know, it took me back to, I was looking at movies and, you know, my life experience, I was like Martin Luther King and John Lewis, and you know what I mean? Like people that walk that walk. And if Martin Luther King was living, you know, my birthday, January 15th.
Okay.
And if he, you know, and I'm probably sure we would have met.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And I could just see him saying, you know, if he was alive, like, you got to do this. You feel what I'm saying? Look at all I did. You know what I mean? For this moment. And I just, you know, I felt the importance of it, you know, because in our culture, we be complaining about so much. Police messing with us, and you know what I mean? The street light might be out, potholes in the street. You feel what I'm saying? No cameras in the neighborhoods to protect and see us and our, you know, well-being. You know, we have these complaints, and then we don't do nothing about it. You know what I mean? So voting is very important. And in our culture too, you know, it's some people that, like my manager ran for a position in Georgia, you know, on council, right? And I was telling people vote for her, and they didn't even know what she do. So they're aware. So we have to understand too that voting for like the presidents, that's one thing. But if you want real change around you, you dig what I'm saying? You have to vote locally.
Locally, that, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said that. Backstory, I used to work on Capitol Hill, so I love politics. Not enough to stay in it, but I'm very enamored in it, and I just love like how it works, and I want people to be more educated on it, because a lot of, like you said, she was running for an office that nobody even knew about and didn't even know what that position, what the decisions she would be making in that position. And I try to tell people, it's your sheriffs, your police chiefs, your mayors, those are the people that are making the choices closer to you, the judges, you know, so if something happens, that's who you're gonna see. And you have to make sure those people either reflect your standards and what you're voting for, or they look like you. And a lot of times they don't in those positions, so that's so important. I'm proud of you for that.
Thank you.
When it comes comes to the message you want to send to Black men, because I know you talk to the young men, but like to Black men and where we're going within this next 4 years before we have another election, what's a message that you would drive to them so they can kind of help prepare for the next race when we get there?
I have to keep it gutter because, like, it's so many of us right now, like, that's from the hood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I speak to them because our voices can be heard now because felons can vote. You feel what I'm saying? It's okay to be a part of something that you now have children in. You feel what I'm saying? Because we look at voting and all that politics stuff, we put that in the same bracket as police.
Yes.
Like, we steer away from it, or, hey man, with all that police. You feel what I'm saying? So when you look at it like that, you actually ignoring the fact that I have a child coming up in this same environment, in the same world. You know what I mean? I want to be able to have the best things for this child possible. So find like-minded people, you feel what I'm saying, and make your voice heard as a young Black man. It don't even really matter what color you are, but mostly us are, you know, resistant on that. You know what I mean? And if I could say something to them, it's like, it's okay to be a part of what your children's future look like.
That's good. I love that. Message to the man.
Message.
I love that because a lot of times we forget, we just think about the right now, but we're not thinking about our legacy.
Exactly.
And that's what we need to, like, literally cultivate a culture that protects them. Because right now I don't have any children, but I'm afraid to bring a child into this world because it's so scary. I'm like, I know I'm protective of my people. If I have a mini me running around here, I will go crazy because I just want to make sure they're always good, you know? So
I have a son.
You do?
You
Oh yeah,
met him,
yes, we met at the game. Yes,
And
he is so cute.
I can be gangster as I want to be about how I want to protect him and how you ain't finna, you know, I'm from the West Side, Bankhead, and you know what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, he has to go out into the world, you know, alone to school, you know, with his friends, and to the movies. I can't follow him everywhere, and I want to make sure that, you know, the area that he's in is comfortable, and you know what I mean, and the laws are put together to represent him and not be against him.
Yeah,
you know?
I love that. You've had an incredible career with your music. Hip hop is so instrumental in our culture.
Yes, it is.
At what point did you know that you had a gift to rap?
It had to be in high school. I think I was listening. I was listening to something like some Tupac stuff, and like Biggie, More Money, More Problems.
Yeah.
And you know, Mason, Puff, and all that. So when they came out with that song, I had the Sherilyn coat on that I got from my sister boyfriend. He was a hustler, you know what I'm saying? So I go to school, I got this Sherilyn on. I done stole my sister Versace glasses, got the big glasses. So I'm kind of looking like, you know what I'm saying? So, and I learned the verse, you know what I mean? B-I-G, B-O, B-P-A. So I'm rapping it. So, you know, and there was a girl in there, she was kind of green. She didn't know what I was saying. She was like, that's you? I was like, I lied.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Like, that's
She was like, yeah, that's you. She was like, you sound good. And in my head, I'm like, man, if I could,
sound
you know,
good.
do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then I heard Tupac one day, I Gotta Get Mines with MC Breed, and then I rapped that, and then they was like, that sound like your music. And I was like, oh, maybe it's my voice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then I knew, you know, the voice was something that, you know, they was fond of, and then when I put it to pen and paper, it kind of worked.
I love that. So when you put it on pen and paper, I used to write poetry as well as a kid. My mom used to always say, don't buy me a card, write me a poem. Because I was pretty good at it. I need to get back to it. But I would write poetry. When did you say, okay, I'm gonna put it to pen to paper and then I'm gonna get in the studio? Or did you just start doing like talent shows or rapping in the neighborhood?
What's crazy was, like, when I was young, I used to like this girl named Maya in the second grade.
Okay,
and
Maya.
I wrote her this extravagant poem.
Really?
Like, yeah, it was deep and it was cool. Like, and the girl was like, "You wrote this," and I'm like, "Yeah," you know what I'm saying. So I was into that, you know. And also I used to perform like "I Need Love for My Mama" by LL Cool J. You know what I'm saying? Shit, you know, they'll give us like 50 cents, you know what I'm saying? We'll be in there, I perform that and, you know, different songs. So I knew that I had the talent, and I used to sing in the choir for my grandma.
We all
You
started
know what I
there,
mean?
yeah.
The Center of My Joy was one of the songs that I sung. I had to learn it. You know what I'm saying? So after I was musically inclined, I was like, I think I want to be a rapper because I ain't want to be no R&B singer.
Right. What did grandma say when he's like, I want to do rap? Was she like,
Well, she used to give me like these caps, like
For your teeth?
Yeah, she was like, "Sing, baby, I'm gonna get you a cap." And by the time I got through singing, I had like 4 of them. Like, grandma.
Were they open face? You didn't.
Yeah, I had like one of them had the little cut in it, like a little nugget. You know what I'm saying? One of them had a champagne, and one of them had a little heart. You know what I'm saying?
That is funny.
And one of them was solid. So it was almost like,
Did you catch it?
yeah, I caught it. Mr. Miyagi Dro. Nah. So that's when I knew I was musically inclined. But I would just go around rapping, you know, in the hood. You know what I'm saying? And one day I was on Bankhead at the Bounce, and I was rapping up there, and I got noticed.
Wow. Is that when T.I. noticed you or somebody else?
I was in my teens at that point. Yeah, so what me and T.I. was, we grew up together like a time after that. I met Tip because we had got our Section 8 voucher and stuff like that. You know, we went from, you know, apartments that just had heat, you know what I'm saying, and the big radiator thing that was on the side that, you know what I'm saying, I done burnt my behind on that a couple times. But, you know, we wasn't used to carpeting. You know, when we got our Section 8 voucher, that's when I met Tip. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, at that talent show though on the West Side, I think I was around, I couldn't have been no more than about 16, 17.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah. So when Tip, so I guess Tip decided he was gonna do Grand Hustle, and did he come back and was it one of those, hey, come with me, or were you like, hey, bro, you see what I'm doing?
I was on before Tip. Like, I rap before Tip. Like, yeah, it was a dope
that's
thing.
What's up.
Yeah, you know, and I knew what he wanted to do with music because in the beginning he didn't really even he didn't rap. He used to produce. Wow. And you know, he did beats and hustled, and I couldn't. I was like, one day I was like, you know, what are we doing? He was like, I'm gonna do these beats. You just kick that rhyme. You kick, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we weren't even no rappers though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When we first got around each other, you know what I'm saying? And we just was fond of each other, of our hood antics because we lived in Riverdale. You know, coincidentally, his mom got her Section 8 voucher and moved out there, and my mom got hers and moved in the same spot.
Okay, that's
so
dope.
that's where we was at, and you know, and we started out just being friends, and you know, I was healing up from wearing a colostomy bag because I had been shot.
Yes, talk about that. I saw that on Portia. You did an interview with Portia, and whoa, like I can't imagine at 15 getting shot. Tell me about that for our audience to hear more about it.
It was crazy, man. I was supposed to go to summer school this day because I was real bad in 9th grade, you know what I mean? And so we was at Atlanta Area Tech, and we supposed to I was going to summer school, and I really didn't like that I had to go to summer school. So we get off the bus, we go to school, and next thing you know, we were supposed to got something to eat after we went on break. So we was going on break. I was like, nah, man, I'm finna go sell me some drugs, man. I'm finna go hustle. I ain't got no money.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, let's just go get something to eat, Dro. And I had the polo on. I had the polo sport on, the white and blue polo sport shirt with the white and blue trunks on, with the white and blue socks on,
Polo
with the Reeboks.
down. You were like the first polo influencer before there was influencers.
So and my outfit wouldn't let me stay still. So I was like, I'm gonna go. So I went to the hood, man. Yep. So when I went to the hood, I got into some stuff. You know, this guy tried to bully me and, you know, take advantage of me being alone and fresh, and I had a pair of expensive Armani shades on, and he was saying he was gonna take them and stuff like that. So I was in a position to where this could have been controlled by conflict resolution. I could have came up with a better decision than I came up with. The decision I came up with at that age was to go get my cousin, and we finna come back, and we gonna get you about what you just tried.
Yeah.
But it was premeditated, and that's the reason I believe. The reason why I believe I got what I deserved in a way. You feel what I'm saying? Because I was smart enough to know that by the time I got to Bankhead Court and got my cousin, I could have had a different thought.
Yeah,
I could have been like, you know what? My feelings changed. I don't even feel the same.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not even mad as I was. And I almost cried at that point when he tried me. But when I got out there, my cousin, it was later on that day, we hadn't been smoking and all that. He was like, hey, what that was you were talking about? Because I came over there and told him, man, I need you. We got to go handle some business. But some time passed. He was like, oh, what that was you were talking about? I was like, oh, yeah. Home tried me and woo, woo. We finna go over here. And we went back. Yeah. We went back and we did what we had to do. And I ended up shot. Yep. You know, when I got shot, man, after we handled the boy that I got into it with, you feel what I'm saying? Another dude came up and I thought that was my friend, you know what I mean?
Really?
And I'm looking at him and my cousin was like, who is that? I'm like, oh, that's my guy. Woo, woo. He pulled out the pistol, boom, boom. And when he shooting, you know what I mean? I kind of like tried to, you know, shoot back or whatever, but he ended up hitting me in my back. And it went through like this way. And when it tore up everything in the inside. So sitting in the car crying and going crazy. We driving, my cousin, he going crazy. We throw the guns out, go to the hospital. And when we get to the hospital, the lady told us we couldn't come in, and she was like, you can't come in this way because this is wrong. I'm like, lady, I'm dying. You know what I'm saying? So my cousin, because when he got out, he went in there, and they was like, this the wrong door. And when I seen them giving him problem, I tried to crawl over into the driver's side and hit the guy. He was like, bro, get out of the car. So he pushed me back over. We drove around to the other side. He got out the car again, and he ran in there. And when I seen him take it too long, I got out the car, thought I could walk. And I fell to the ground, crawled in there.
Are you kidding me?
Yep.
This is like a movie.
Yep. And then the doors, you know, they open automatically. I saw a wheelchair, got up in a wheelchair, rolled in there, and was like, save me.
Please. Oh my God. I have a lot of fears in life. One is like dying while giving birth, and then another one's getting shot. Is that a feeling that you never forget? Like that feeling when you like hit, or some kind of, sometimes your adrenaline's going, you don't even realize, and you're like, oh shit, I'm hit. What was that moment like in the moment when it happened? You thought that was your friend that was approaching you, and then it wasn't.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that I had got shot. I had seen it in movies. I had heard it, you know, I seen some people shot before, but it was just, it was groundbreaking for me. In my position, you know, and how young I was, you know, bleeding from somewhere and throwing up, and it, you know, it was crazy. And now I think everybody's gonna do, I think the worst. Like if I'm at a club or something, I'm standing somewhere, I'm like, this cat finna hit me in the head with a bottle, or I'm finna get stabbed, or, you know what I'm saying? And I have these fears and this anxiety that, you know.
To this day.
To this day.
Oh my goodness. You spoke about, at that point, the situation being in the hospital and getting addicted to drugs, to the pain medicine. When I was in college, I tore my Achilles tendon, and my mom, she works in a hospital. And by day 3, she took the hydrocodones away from me because she was like, you're fine, you're okay. And I remember what it felt like, the sleep. I was telling them earlier, I could hear myself snoring. Like it was the best sleep I had ever had in my life. And I know, I was like, even though I don't have an addictive spirit, I know how people, I just want to feel that. At that age, what was it for you?
Well, nobody in the family ever had these talks about, hey, addiction is very powerful, because I thought that, you know, my aunties and uncles did drugs, and everybody, it was cool. Like people drinking beers, smoking weed, and you know, they doing crack and shooting heroin, and you know what I'm saying? But,
you were seeing that?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because it was just like on Shoulder Lean, I was saying like, don't nobody live with my mom but a bunch of junkies. Like all her brothers and sisters would come over, and this would be normal, you know what I'm saying? So in the hospital, I don't know why I was addicted to it, but if that would have been explained to me, maybe I would have been able to say, wait a minute, or you know, somebody else could have said, wait a minute, let's tell him, you know, about the feeling he's feeling, because I was in there, man, when that jump I was in pain because, you know, when you have 56 staples and a colostomy bag sitting right here and a tube right here, and you feel what I'm saying? And then you healing up from the gunshot. You know what I'm saying? I went on a couple of surgeries, you know? So I'm in pain.
Yes.
So when that lady hit me with that stuff and I went out, it felt like, it was like, I don't know. I don't know how it is. I don't know how it feel to be born, but it felt like I was just coming into the world, like coming out of the womb, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I was like, this feels insanely good, you know, and it was taking the pain away, but I enjoyed the feeling more than what it was for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that led down a whole, so she used to stick me right here and stick me right here, to the point where I had knots in me because I was asking so much. You feel what I'm saying? And I had knots. She was like, I can't find a good place to stick you. Now I gotta go. And then it happened over here, and she was addicted.
Now I wonder if at some point the nurses should have stepped in and said, okay, or had some type of limit of how much they, you know?
Well, it wasn't even, it wasn't likely that I survived. So I guess it was a delicate situation. You know what I mean? I didn't even supposed to survive that. You know, it was like, well, most teens die from, you know, shock and this and that. You know, the fact that you're here, and I was totally in pain though. You know what I mean? And it just got to the point where, like, I don't know. You know what I mean? They just kept giving it to me, and I needed it, but I don't know if I needed it for what I wanted it for. You feel what I'm saying? So by the time they governed it, I had already had that taste. And then when I got out of the hospital, I was like, so what y'all gonna give me when I get out of here? So they was like, oh, we got some songs. I was like, I hope it's like that. They was like, this guy here, man, it's crazy.
Like 15 years old, somebody, I need that.
Yeah, so when I got out the hospital, man, you know what I did? I ended up smoking a blunt, and I passed out. I drove my bike down the street, and I was, you know, we in the projects, everybody out there crowding around me, and you know, they're like, man, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I got this bag on, I got my boxers on, my t-shirt, I'm skinny, I'm like, I had to be no more than like 90-something pounds, but when I went in, I was like 135, you know what I mean? I got out, so I ended up smoking a blunt and passing out, and the only thing I could tell them was like, do not tell my mama that I came down here and mixed street drugs with this hospital stuff and fell out. You know what I mean? But what I do wish would have happened was that my family was educated on our drug addiction and my father's drug addiction and my aunties and uncles and addictive personality and how to navigate what I felt. Counseling, you know what I mean? Like things of that nature, because I wouldn't have this story to tell today.
Yeah, no, seriously. The hip hop industry speaks a lot about drugs and lean and all types of pills and things like that. And it's, I think even more today, they're more outward with it in their music. We hear of so many people overdosing. Being that you were in the industry, the addiction started at such a young age. As you continue to be engulfed in this career path, was that something that you were faced with everywhere where you just try new stuff because that spirit was already kind of set in with being addicted?
It was set in, and by the time I got there, you know how you deflect, and you're like, you know, I used my celebrity to hide behind what was actually a problem. So I was like, oh, well, because I was one of the ones, like when I pop a pill, I take it on like a Thundercat and all kind of stuff, and you know, the pills and the lean and coming up with ways to rhyme it and make it sound cool. You feel me? So I was a part of that, you know what I mean? And everybody used to always see me out and be like, you geeked up, ain't it? And I'd be like, not now, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, probably later, but you know what I'm saying? They always put that on me, you know what I mean? Because I used my platform to put that out there that, you know, it was okay, when actually I was just hurting and, you know, trying to figure out a way to deal with it that was sociable. Because a lot of things that I did a lot of people didn't do socially. Yeah.
Got you. Recently, you opened up about T.I.'s son, Damani, saving you from an overdose. Was that the turning point? And tell me about that situation.
So at that point, yeah, that happened in the studio, and the reason why I wanted to share that is because I was all out of options. I faked the help a little, Tip took me to get help one time, and I was in there, I was like, and I seen people that was, on drugs, and, I was like, I ain't that
like
type of,
them.
you know what I'm saying? I ain't that type of junkie, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like, and I didn't go back. You know what I mean? Then one time I tried to get help at the crib, and the lady came, and I was lying to her, and you feel what I'm saying? And then I just kept repeating that. And then, I would tell, like, say for instance, this is a professional place. This is where I rap at. Me, you my manager, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, oh, I got it. You know what I'm saying? Cool. Then I go out and get high. Then I come back to you, and I done missed a couple of shows. Then I tell you another lie. You know what I'm saying? Then you kind of got an idea, but you don't. Until the day you overdose around me. Now I'm all out of options.
Yes.
You feel me? So when that happened at the studio, I was like, man, you know what I mean? I'm out on the floor, and the fire department guy, he was young, and he was a fan, and he was in tears. He was like, come on, Dro.
Yeah.
And I'm on the floor like, what? I said, in front of everybody now? You know what I mean?
Because you've been hiding this.
I have been, I got it. It ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm handling it. You know what I'm saying? I pop through per ear, you know what I'm saying? But it got to the point where, like, it came out, like, you know what I'm saying? And it came out in the worst way. Yeah. And to have my nephew in that position, to where he in there, because he was like, this is what they telling me. He was like, hey, and I didn't answer. And he was like, man, something wrong. Yeah. And he went to work on me. And when I came to, and Tip was, they FaceTime. Tip on that. I'm like, get up, nigga. Hey, Dro. Hey, boy, you good? I'm like, I'm not good. What are you talking about? No. I just came to. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And the money's there, and I could see the look in his eye. And if I could just apologize to him now, like, I'm so sorry that I put you in the position to where you had to see your uncle in this way because of something that I didn't share, that I needed help. You know what I mean? Yeah. And in that position, in that studio where I made hits at, you know what I mean? And I was broken at, and I didn't want to go back in there.
Wow.
I was like, oh man, everybody done seen it. I ain't got nowhere else to go. Like, I can't lie no more. I can't pop it to you. Like, I got control. I don't have any more control. I said, you know what? I'm gonna just stay out the studio, and and then next thing you know, God was telling me, he was like, go back to the studio. And I was like, I don't want to go back in no studio. Like, why am I going there for? People looking at me every time I go in there. Like, when I see people now, they be like, you okay? You look good. I was like, I'm good, man. But I appreciate the love, but I did not want to go back in there because it was like the walk of shame. Yeah. But when I went back, it was some reason God kept telling me to go back. So when I went back, he was like, you can't be on nothing that you was on. You can't even be this person you was. I need everything pulled out. I need everything that you was. Nothing can be the same. Wow. You can't have the same antics. You can't hang with the same people. But when I send you back in there, make sure you're like this. And I went back in there, and I was cleaned up, right? And next thing you know, I record Thank God in there with Kirk Franklin, Sunday Service. The choir come in there, and I released what had happened to me on paper because I had never shared it. And I felt like God was saying, where you broken at, I'll rebuild you. And,
yes, he will.
And it happened.
Oh, you're going to make me cry. That's so good. I listened to it. So who was it? We have a church, or it's like a group of us to go to church together. I'm really about to cry.
It's okay.
Because God is so good.
Yes, he is. It's okay. You're gonna make me cry.
I'm sorry. It's so good. People don't understand when you have that relationship with him, to listen to him the way you have, how he will restore you and turn you around. And sometimes you think things are not redeemable or you can't come back from something. So I love that, God, you listened to him.
Yes.
And we were on our way to church, and a friend of mine, we call ourselves the squad. We all go to church together. And he sent that song to us, and me and Marquise, we were listening to it. And as I was like, oh my goodness, like, I didn't know Dro went through this.
Yes.
And it was so beautiful how you told the story. And I reposted it that day. I was like, oh my gosh, I just love this song. But I've been doing this show for a while. And I remember I was like, oh, like, I feel like it's getting too churchy and I don't want to do this. And I went to Woman Evolve and I was telling my team, we need to switch it up and rebrand it. I want to be more me. And I went to Woman Evolve and Sarah Jakes was preaching and
That's my girl.
yeah, I love her. And I came back and I was like, y'all, I got to be aware of the content that I'm putting out, the message that I'm sending. And it's basically like God saying, like, I've given you this platform, but I need you to keep me in it. And it's funny because even in the rebranding, God always comes up.
Yes, he does.
It's like he's in the midst, and even if I am being myself, he's like, you can be yourself, but I'm going to be in there.
Yeah.
You know, and it always comes up. But it's just listening to that voice and knowing that the platform he's giving you and giving me, he wants the glory for it.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, so I'm proud of you for that. So in your new music, I know you're more aware and conscious of the message you're putting out. How has that shifted? And when you go into the studio now, is it a different energy that you feel?
So we shared the same thing because I had it was complicated because I was like, okay, God, now I can't just glorify this.
Yeah,
I can't just say perk, pill, lean. I can't do that. You know what I mean? So how do I? He was like, you could be yourself. You could talk about what happened to you, what it made you feel like, what your experiences were. He said, but it's a way to do it. You could be yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now, that I did that song, a lot of people look at me like, oh, well, he's strictly doing church now.
Yeah, no.
I'm from Bankhead.
Right. I was gonna be from Bankhead.
You know what I'm saying? I'm from the hood.
Yeah.
I have to tell you about real stuff that I went through. I'm a real person.
Yes.
And God is real also, and he's also instrumental. And that's where we lose at because we feel like if we're some way, but I believe church people make you feel like you can't be God if you just not all the way. Like, I'm human. You know what I mean? I ain't finna just.
And God knows that.
Exactly. and at this point in my life, I'm just letting him guide me, where I need to go. And I'm also, letting the Spirit lead me to where I be like, well, I ain't gonna do that.
Yep.
I ain't gonna say that. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, me too. I'm the same way. I'm like, I'm like, let's not do that.
Yeah.
Or these are things I want to talk about. I'm not going to talk about that.
Right.
Because we have to be it's like a certain responsibility that we have for the people that's listening.
It's certain things I won't do. It's a lot, and then and I'm skeptical about things that I would say.
Yeah.
But doing what I used to do, totally not.
Yeah.
Totally different from that. Like, I don't walk that walk no more. Like, and there's a lot of people waiting on me to do something.
Oh,
they probably gonna be old and gone by the time because I don't plan on breaking this covenant that I have.
So, something I want to talk about, because you talked about the trauma, like always looking around, like if somebody gonna shoot me or hit me upside the head with a bottle or stab me. Have you gone to any therapy, or are you actively in therapy to kind of help with that trauma?
Actively in therapy, man. My therapist, Original Michael, man, and his wife, Socrates Michael, they're good people that help me identify what mental health and stuff to be healthy mentally is very powerful, and it all coincides with the peace that God gives me that surpasses all understanding.
Yes.
I can't be in a position to be better or prosper or talk to people if I don't go talk to my dude and sit down and unpack it.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? And it's okay to, you know what I'm saying? And then from a clinical standpoint, my manager is actually, she has her doctorate in behavioral and mental health, CRL. You know what I'm saying? So she's there to, hey, look, thinking like this and being like that, because for a long time I was a lot of things. When I got out of drugs, I seen how crazy of a person I was. I was like, this dude is crazy. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of things that I have to sit with. That's why I don't have an iPhone.
Yes, he has a flip phone.
I have to, because it allows me to go out and
disconnect.
You know, disconnect.
Oh, because you probably can't get like Instagram or nothing on that phone.
Nah, but I still,
That's amazing.
you know, if I watch, it's a team,
Go ahead and tell.
if I watch the team or something, I'll be like, I gotta let her know I just watched it, because you know what? I have to tell you this. The spirit was like, because I look at a lot of nonsense, and the spirit was like, you have to watch this show.
Wow.
And you were in it. And then it gave me standards, morals, like things that you could live by other than Instagram, naked girl, this shootout, robbery, that, news, trial, murder, Ricos, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because all of this stuff that I take in, I started to handle my family like that.
That's
You feel what I'm saying?
the influence. People underestimate the influence
It's hard
of
to
TV.
choose a stable woman if you're always looking at, you know, stuff that's online and how women are, and you know what I'm saying, you'll tend to say the wrong thing to a girl. Like, what are you talking to?
Right.
Like, I thought it was the
That's,
Instagram.
that's what y'all like, ain't it?
I thought that was what you like. Like, you need to get off the internet. Okay, I got it. All right, you know. So I don't have a phone for that matter, so I could sit
Yes.
with what I need to sit with and face it.
That's
We call it
beautiful.
fighting demons, but the demons only grow if you feed them. So if I keep feeding it and
good.
it gets so big, I'm like, this dude is behind me. It's huge. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow, I love that. Dro, this is good. I love that. So you had your trajectory of music. Was there? I didn't want to ask you because I didn't know that you were on before T.I. was on. His career went crazy.
Crazy.
Now I want to talk about friendships and the business. Was there ever a point where you were like, damn, like this nigga done, you know what I'm saying, like went surpassed me?
Yeah.
Was there ever where you kind of like felt away, like, dang, like I'm supposed to be there because this is what I was doing this first? Because I know sometimes that happens in friendships.
You know why? Because I knew the real meaning of loyalty, love, and acceptance.
That's
and
good.
you know, I wanted to see, like, when he came out, and this, I ain't saying this because this is my friend, he was my favorite rapper. I was like, the stuff he's saying is, you know what I'm saying, not, and just for that to be my friend, my close friend, that's just a bonus. You know what I mean? And and to be a great leader, you have to follow. You know what I mean? So I was good,
That's good.
you know, going around and, you know, following in his footsteps and seeing the connects and, you know, picking up off that and this. And to this day, I'm utilizing that relationship.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And he has a lot to offer out in the world. And it's a lot of things that I appreciate him for knowing me. Like,
Yeah.
I've always wanted a friend that knows me and knows me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a difference knowing
tell
me and knowing me.
you know, and know who I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things that he said no to that sheltered me from people actually seeing. Like my story now, it could have been something that you already knew.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of stuff he was like, nah, leave him
Protect you.
there. Because he's gonna get to acting crazy, and I'm happy. He done had to send me home a lot of times.
Really?
Bro, go home. I'm like, what? I'm high.
Right.
I'm high and having fun.
Having
Like,
fun, yeah.
No, go home. It's gonna get embarrassing after this point. And you know what I mean? So to say I felt the way, I always felt joy to see him speak, and I learned how to pick up some lines. I ain't learned those big words yet. A couple of them, you know what I mean? But you know, to see him in action is a pleasure.
I love hearing that because sometimes we don't hear the positive sides of friends being in business together. So I love that it's been a positive situation for you. What are some things that you've learned from him with the business?
You have to be mindful. He taught me like to appreciate people that work for you. Tell them that you appreciate them. You know what I'm saying? Like we rapped on a movie the other day, and he had a speech, and it was so heartfelt. And he was appreciating everybody that came and everybody that shared the dream that he had and brought it to life, and he was thankful. And you know, this is an icon. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he takes the time to do little things. You know what I mean? And that's what I picked up from and learned from him. Like, like if we at the house in LA, and I see how he interact with Eris, and
Yes.
it's the little things, you know what I mean? He picks her up, and if she has a problem, you know, with how he's, being too clingy. Dad, you're being clean. Well, I have to be clean. You know what I mean? And what are you doing here? And we're gonna eat vegetables, and this is, this is totally the opposite from what you're thinking.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
make sure you eat your vegetables and this and here, and this your Uncle Dro, and y'all gonna race today. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And I feel like that, that's why he's still always covered and blessed, because his family is first. He's a strong leader, and he's the best friend in the world.
I love that. Shout out Tip. I love that. I got to work with him on a movie like 2015, and he's such an incredible worker. Works very hard, professional, and it was a joy. So I love Tip. I love that. So you spoke about acting.
Yeah.
Is this like, has this always been a dream, or is this something that just kind of?
I think I'm an unofficial thespian. I don't got that much skin in the game, but I'm so good with movies, and I know, like, I can watch a movie that I've never seen before, and I could tell you, like, when a woman is finna cheat or when she finna kill him. I can tell you if they're gonna walk in the room and die. I can tell you if they're gonna survive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll be like, he's gonna survive. They be like, how you know? I'm like, watch.
What?
And it's just that I'm so into it like that. Like, and I've watched countless movies and countless TV shows, and I'm a big deal when it comes to TV. You know what I mean? So acting, I do act a lot in the mirror and in the bathroom and when nobody around. You know what I'm saying? And so Tip kind of like pulled it out of me. Like, long time ago, he asked me, he was like, so I thanked him for acting in the movie. I was like, man, I just want to call you and appreciate you and let you know I'm thankful for letting me act in situationships. He was like, I said, I always wanted to do this. He was like, you sure? I was like, why you say that? He was like, man, I asked you to be in ATL. He said, I asked you, did you want to play Big Boy's role in ATL? And you said no.
Are you serious?
I was like, I was high. I was high. Just overlook that. You know what I mean? I was high, dude. Like, I said, but I want to do it now.
Yeah.
He was like, all right, cool. We got plenty of stuff coming up. So, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
He got me in Apartments Part 2. You know what I mean? I'm in that, and I'm in situationships and doing our thing.
Amazing. So when are they coming out? Can we let the people know?
I don't know.
Okay, so we'll be on
It
the
should be
lookout.
soon, though.
Yeah, we'll be on the lookout.
They're done. Yeah.
I love that. So
Yes.
you are back in the studio working on more music.
I'm back in the studio.
I love that. Is
Yeah.
there a release date on that?
Me and Zaytoven are gonna release
Wow.
in January.
Okay.
The PSC project is almost done. Well, it's majority done.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We got T-Pain, we got a lot of people on there. We got DJ Drama is gonna put that project out. You know what I mean? But for now, me and Zaytoven has a project called 10-Piece Hot. Make sure you bring your blue cheese.
I heard it. Yeah, it's
You know
the
what I'm
blue
saying?
cheese.
Bring your blue cheese, 'cause I'm gonna need that.
Yeah.
So it's called 10-Piece Hot, and it's just 10 songs that is very hot that I could put out right now to represent who I am and what I see. Because a lot of people like, oh, now that he's sober, let's see if the music sound like when you geeked up.
Oh,
I'm like,
Lord.
oh, I got some.
I got
for you.
some, yep,
Because
even
guess
better.
what I thought? I thought, well, the devil convinced me that, oh, you can't do this without drugs. And that's what I was stuck in the rehab. I was scared to come out of rehab because I thought I had to have drugs to write good music. And that was a lie.
That was a lie.
Yeah,
Ooh.
man.
Yeah, I need our aspiring rappers to hear that, because I think they look at a lot of the rappers today and think, oh, I gotta be on these drugs, I gotta do this to be cool and to come across as reputable,
Yeah.
and have that reputation. But you don't have to do all that.
No, you're gonna mess around and overdose trying to find that high.
Yeah.
You feel me? You're gonna pick up the wrong thing trying to find something that you don't even need. Because I had this thought that just popped, a light popped over my head, and I heard God say, You think I haven't equipped you with everything you need to get what you got
It's
to get?
already in
like,
you.
Man, you crazy.
Yeah.
You think I was like, oh yeah, you're gonna need a pill or two? Like, man, God.
Yes.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Tripping.
You don't need to add nothing to this.
None of that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. If there was anything that you would tell young men, I know you have an outreach right now, but what if you could leave the young men that may watch this show with something, what would you tell them?
It's okay to admit that you walked in the wrong door than to spend your lifetime in the wrong room. You know what I mean?
Write that down. That's the note. Thank you. Can you say that again?
It's okay to admit that you walked in the wrong door than to spend your lifetime in the wrong room. You know what I mean? If it's okay to say, hey, look, I ain't get it right.
Yeah.
You don't have to stay over there. You know what I mean? You can actually elevate. It's good in all of us. And like I always tell people, if you can't see the good in me, I'm gonna just give you a hug and tell you life is difficult for the blind.
I'm taking that one. I am taking that one. That is so good. Dro, I have absolutely enjoyed this conversation.
This is deep.
You brought me to tears today, man.
God
is
listen,
good.
bro, I mean, like, tear go back in the eye.
Roll them back.
Roll back in the eye. Rewind my eye. Nah, man, that was heartfelt, man. I appreciate you feeling for me. You dig what I'm
I
saying?
felt that.
We need a lot of that in the world today. People to feel for people.
The grace,
You know what I mean?
yeah. 'Cause I think that's something that the Christian community lacks is grace for each other. To give the same grace that God gives us.
That's powerful.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you. Any way that I can support you or the KIPS community can support you, we got you.
Thank you.
And we're here for you. Just call on us.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much. Whew. Man, between Young Dro's testimony, the tears, and the gems he dropped, guys, I am so full. There was so much I took away from our conversation, but I had to choose one thing. It would be, it's okay to admit you walked in the wrong door instead of spending a lifetime in the wrong room. That right there was so poignant, and it meant so much because I think sometimes we make a mistake, and instead of trying to find a way out of it, we just stick with the devil that we know and we stay in that situation. Dro, thank you so much. I love that. Thank you all so much for watching and for your support of the Keep It Positive Sweetie Show. I also want to thank Young Dro for coming through and sharing his story. For those watching who may be struggling with substance abuse or mental health challenges, you don't have to go through this alone. You matter, you're loved, and the help is available to you. You can contact the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration National Helpline at 1-800-662-HELP. And to keep up with our show and all the cool things we have going on, you can follow me on all social media platforms at Love Crystal Renee, and you can also follow our show at Keep It Positive Sweetie. If you want to write into our Positive Outcomes listener letter, you can send us an email at keepitpositivesweetie@gmail.com. In the meantime, in between time, you know what to do. Keep it positive, sweeties. I'll see you guys next time.